Protests in support of equality have been held in Birmingham in response to a controversial campaign attacking LGBT lessons in primary school. Waving rainbow flags outside the Noshashi Civic Centre in Small Heath, individuals from across the city gathered to rally in support of the No Outsiders programme, which has ignited controversy at Parkfield Primary and placing the school under a national spotlight. The protests originally began in January after a group of parents launched a petition against the school for teaching an equality and diversity programme, which includes lessons on respect and acceptance of LGBT rights.
We are today fighting for our own moral and family ethos because that is under threat.
These small parent-only protests quickly became a series of demonstrations attended by members of the wider community, and then attracted support from conservative Christian and Jewish groups.
Same stuff is happening, and make no mistake, this isn't something about it might not be appropriate at the age of 4 or 5, but it might be appropriate in secondary school. Homosexual propaganda is not appropriate anywhere at any time.
The parents and their fellow protesters claimed their primary concern was that the lessons were inappropriate for young pupils and believed that the programme confuses children about their sexuality. The school disagreed, insisting the initiative was age appropriate and approved by Ofsted. No Outsiders was created and piloted by the school's assistant head Andrew Moffat with the aim of educating children to accept the differences in society. Mr Moffat and the school have consistently defended the programme, which they said had been fully explained to parents.
The point of No Outsiders is preparing children for life in modern Britain, so we're all different, we can get along. You can have black skin, brown skin, white skin, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Sikh, Jewish, be gay or lesbian, have disabilities, but we can be friends, we can get along. Now, I understand that some communities have tensions with the LGBT aspect, but you know what, we've got to work a way to get through this, because in the UK there are gay people, and that's OK, that's good. So we have to work together, we've got to get through this together, and we will get through it together, we'll find a way.
Yet almost 8 weeks later, protests still continue at Parkfield, with reports of parents at other schools across Birmingham, Greater Manchester, Bolton and Croydon also now challenging equality lessons which explore topics around homosexuality and gay rights. In Birmingham, over 600 students were recently pulled out of Parkfield School as part of the protest action, forcing the school to temporarily suspend the No Outsiders programme. Despite some conflicting claims about this suspension, and parents now confirming a consultation process has begun, a number of protesters and their supporters are expanding their campaign with the aim of removing LGBT lessons from as many Muslim-majority schools as possible.
What you got to say?
I said, let children be children.
Inshallah.
Don't indoctrinate with that filth and that rubbish of LGBT.
On Saturday, a conference calling for an end to the No Outsiders programme was the latest development in this ongoing opposition. The event was organised by Stop RSCE, a group against relationships and sex education in schools at primary level, who believe No Outsiders actively discriminate against the parents' rights and authority over their children's education. Outside the venue, Muslim and non-Muslim members of the LGBT community and their allies congregated in a bid to inform parents of the benefits of No Outsiders, with an aim to dispel what they describe as dangerous myths related to the teaching material. Under the umbrella of SEEDS, an educational equality and diversity promoting organisation, volunteers spoke to parents as they entered the conference. The activists, which includes teachers, argued that No Outsiders helps challenge homophobia and promote LGBT equality. Giving out leaflets behind a banner declaring "No to Islamophobia, no to homophobia," the group were adamant they wanted to find a resolution that protected both communities, but not at the expense of oppressing either.
I'm here today to essentially show solidarity with the LGBT community as well as solidarity with the Muslim community. I think there is a lot of fear with the parents of schools across the West Midlands and now further afield in Manchester and reports that we're getting some in London as well. And they are scared about what is being taught to their children. I think the event here today is to really talk about what is going on in schools. But the odd thing is that they have only invited speakers who have so far made anti-LGBT or anti-no outsiders comments in the media.
Inside the conference hall, a similar sentiment as speakers insisted that they were not homophobic, but at the same time deemed awareness of the LGBT community inappropriate for Muslim children.
I don't see them as enemies as such. The way the media has pitted this battle between the Muslims and the homosexual LGBT community, it's not about that. The messages that we have relayed up until now, from day one, is that we are not against the LGBT individuals and the community. I'm saying that because we genuinely believe that there is no compulsion in our religion to impose our beliefs on other people, and also we feel that there should be no compulsion on us to have other people's beliefs imposed upon us.
They were being taught LGBT lessons. They were being taught that being gay and being Muslim is okay. They sugarcoated this as the Equality Act, and they said by law they are required to teach this. Okay? Our problem with Parkfield School was, this isn't the Equalities Act you're teaching. This is generally LGBT lessons. We have no issue with the Equalities Act as long as all 9 aspects are covered in a balanced and age-appropriate manner. There's not a problem with it at all. For children as young as 4 to be coming home and saying, "Mum, is it true that if I'm gay, it's okay," is just not right, because you're confusing children.
Material on display at the event also appeared to contradict these claims.
We're trying to bring parents together from across Birmingham and tell them what our campaign is about at Parkfield and at other schools as well, regarding what we feel is not right about the No Outsiders programme.
Amir Ahmed, chair of Allen Rock Parents Community Group, helped organise the conference and has been instrumental in calling protests against No Outsiders at several schools in inner city Birmingham.
No Outsiders is based on the Equality Act, although I don't think there's any equality in it, but and the RSC is more to do with the Child and Social Work Act. So they come from a different pieces of legislation, but there are crossovers.
Okay, sorry, I just noticed you just said then that there's no, you don't believe there's no equality in the Equality Act. I've heard you just say then.
Yeah, well, yes, because you see, Mr. Moffat in his book says that there's no more there's no more homophobia in the school. Now what he's looking for is acceptance, and what he means by acceptance is to influence our children's moral position on homosexuality.
Despite protests outside schools in Birmingham attracting hundreds of people, only around 75 people turned up to the conference. The event was openly publicised online, but organisers on the day told us it was a private function. The main speaker for the event was Dr. Kate Godfrey Fawcett, who describes herself as a chartered psychologist and Muslim academic. In a video clip published last year, she delivered a speech about the government's totalitarian endeavour to indoctrinate our children in sexual ideologies. However, although billed as the gathering's key speaker, she failed to show up at the very last minute, with organisers citing ill health as the reason for her absence. A number of attendees didn't want their faces photographed or filmed, and members of the Allen Rock Community Forum who were present asked us not to capture them as they didn't support what they described as a breakaway event, separate from recent positive and progressive discussions they have been having with the LGBT community.
And I think it's important to say that, the people who are protesting the LGBT section of No Outsiders and programmes like No Outsiders, they aren't necessarily representative of the whole Muslim community, and so it's not Muslims that should be attacked. Nobody should be attacked in this situation. It is about community cohesion, understanding what is actually being taught, opening the dialogue, and reducing the instances of people using this for their own motives.
While the protests have been halted as the school re-engages with the Muslim community over the No Outsiders project, tension is still rife between some parents and the school and its supporters, fueled by lingering speculation and a wealth of misinformation. This is no doubt a complex situation. Not all parents are against No Outsiders and the teaching of LGBT education, and some groups are actively working with the LGBT community for a solution. Because of this, there are several breakaway groups determined to permanently ban the programme in schools. There is no easy solution in sight, but positive progress has started to be made. I'm Rhys Storer, reporting for Birmingham.